Welcome back to the top 10 list. I'm in studio and we're gonna talk about some stuff. This week, we're gonna talk about, well, look, first of all, you need to understand the list is coming about as a result of the recent death of multiple beloved celebrities. So from like beloved actors like Sidney Poitier or Bob Saget just the past couple of days. And
awful.
We lost Betty White just a couple of days before that. Very sad losses of celebrities that I think it's fair to say most people just have a very good opinion of. And we are in very partisan conflicted times. So it's nice to just have things we all agree on. And so we lost a couple of big ones recently and we don't want to lose any more. So this is the top 10 people we really don't want to be taken anytime soon. Did you have difficulty in filling out this list?
Well, it's interesting because I think that you named like the three people who've passed recently, Bob Saget, Betty White, and Sidney Poitier are like they strike a same note of like nostalgia and like love and goodness and like, a little old Hollywood with Sidney Poitier, but like just good vibes all around. And I don't even know if my list is as perfect as that.
Mine isn't. I try. I've got a little bit of that.
Yeah.
It was hard. This is a hard list for me. The times that lists are hardest isn't that I can't come up with the people or the things. It's like sometimes I just fear that I'm missing a lot. And in this one, I'm so worried that I'm missing some big ones, but hopefully they'll be on your list. You want to start off?
Okay, my number 5 is the only man I have on this list, but because otherwise I'd be like, no, these are people I can't handle losing. Because like most men, I'm like, ugh, what do you contribute? I'm just kidding. But no, number 5, John Iadarola. Number 5.
Why am I up for grabs? Like I'm not gonna die soon, hopefully. Anyway, who is it?
Live every day like it's your last. Sorry.
As it is.
I think Bill Murray is someone who could not handle losing right now and for the next let's say 10 years. Like I want him to live long. He is hilarious and wonderful and he doesn't have an agent. He just has an answering machine that he occasionally checks and if he likes the part, he'll be like, "Okay." And he used to go up to people behind them and put his hands over their eyes in New York where he lives. And then they would turn around and it'd be Bill Murray and he'd be like, "No one's ever gonna believe you, bye." And that's what he would do. He would just punk people on the street, which I think is hilarious. But yeah, love Bill Murray for everything he's been in. He's always good and I don't wanna lose him. He's also someone who I feel like could be secretly very depressed or struggling with addiction or something that I'm know, you good, Bill? Is someone checking in on you?
Yeah, he some of his movies are among literally my favorite movies. I've always really liked him. I've heard a little bit more behind the scenes stuff that makes me a little bit more nuanced in my Bill Murray-ness, but I still love him. I still watch, Scrooged every Christmas and everything.
Oh, like he's a POS?
We'll be set. Not that bad, but there was just this thing about his work ethic during Ghostbusters that really bothered me. I don't know, it's stupid and I'm blowing it out of proportion, but it would have made me so angry as a director. But anyway, and then there was the thing with his friend. Anyway, it's not important. Don't want to lose him. I agree with you. Also, I literally just thought of 3 huge ones that should be on my list. I'm gonna leave it. I'm not changing the list. I'm gonna have honorable mentions. But my number 5 is going to be David Attenborough because he has that sort of nostalgic. It's I don't think you could be David Attenborough now. It would be because you'd be on social media and you'd say something stupid. But David Attenborough is just he wants you to appreciate the world and animals. And then he didn't just most would just do that, but he actually is an advocate for environmental causes, cares about climate change. He's still doing Zoom meetings on video with Greta and stuff. So he's staying connected. It's just pure in a way that I don't think you could be now. And by the way, now they wouldn't have David Attenborough. Anytime Netflix has a new environmental series, they just have Will Smith narrated or something. They'll just have a celebrity.
No, that's Nat Geo. David Attenborough, the male sloth awakens.
I like that.
Here's the cry from her mate. His mate. I love it. He did Planet Earth number 2, right? or number
Yes, I
1
think
and 2.
so.
Oh, so good.
It's good. I'm gonna have to go rewatch some of that. But anyway, that's my number 5, David Attenborough. The only man on my list. I'm kidding. What's your number 4?
Okay, number 4. She seems like eternal and celestial and already like from the great beyond, but also here. But Cher needs to not die. Like if Cher, she's older, probably in her 60s. I need her to be okay. I need her to be fine. She's an icon. She's wonderful. She is very smart. And like, so no, she's not in her 60s. She is 75. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, Sophie, thanks for that. Because yeah, no, she needs to not die. I need her to be good to like 100. You know?
Maybe it's possible. Oh, yeah. Good choice. I don't really have singers on my list. I really am more towards the actors, but yeah, there's no reason why athletes couldn't be, or singers or writers. But
what about other comedians, huh?
I feel like most of the classic older comedians have died.
Have already died. Yeah.
Comedians are only slightly like longer lived than your average like professional wrestler. Like they tend to die a little bit younger, you know?
Let's be real, dude. Facts, man. It's so sad. And then that's a different conversation, but you are not wrong. They tend to die. I was like,
Hedberg and John Pennette. And
it's always like alone in a hotel room, which is so depressing.
Williams, yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. My number 4 is I just have a lot of affection for 2 roles, basically. And she's on the older side. And it's just this very strong, older, maternal, like stable figure. I'm gonna be really sad, like weirdly sad when Maggie Smith dies. Like Harry Potter, obviously, but even like I've watched Sister Act 50 times in my life, probably. Like there's just something about her that no other actress does that I don't want to lose. She just seems like she's like this authority figure who you can trust and rely on. And she might be a little bit harsh, but she'll have your back when you need it. Like, I don't want to lose Maggie Smith. You took that one hard. I heard a gasp, but
well, because anyway. We may have some overlap here.
Oh, well, we'll see. What is your number 3 then?
Well, my number. No, I'm not changing. I'm not changing. Okay. I please. I had this last night. Number 3 is Lily Tomlin, actress, comedian in Grace and Frankie, or Frankie and Grace, whatever that show is. Clearly, I watched. She's brilliant. Lily Tomlin, I saw her 3 years ago in do like a 1-woman show, an hour long, of all of her characters. Because she has all these kinds of recurring characters, and she is so funny still. Like it's difficult to do an hour show that feels still relevant in the year like 2018 or whenever it was, and to like pull off your characters that are still funny, and also do like an homage to your old characters and have them be funny. I met her backstage. She's like so lovely.
You met her backstage. Wow.
Yeah, and it was a part of a benefit for the One Fair Wage campaign to like get rid of tipped work and raise the minimum wage. But anyway, she's so good, and I don't want her to die. Like I also I don't want Jane Fonda to go anywhere, but I like Lily Tomlin better than Jane Fonda.
And you met Lily Tomlin. By the way, Lily Tomlin, I believe, was on your list of the top 10 stand-ups.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Good choice. My number 3 is a classic. It is Patrick Stewart, and he's obviously getting up there. He's classic. I mean, look, he's done a lot of stuff other than Star Trek, but he didn't need to. Like he could have just done Star Trek and he'd be on my list for that. Like he is this towering figure in Star Trek. Let alone also he's great in the X-Men movies. The most obvious casting, like there's like you could have debates about how you'd cast whatever person from a book or a comic book, but for that role, there was no other choice on the literal planet. Everybody said it, and they got him.
He's bald.
Funny. He's
so
bald.
Funny.
So maybe in South Korea they can get him on the health insurance. No one's gonna know what we're talking about because that video won't be out for days. But he's just his social media activity is so delightful. Like he'll upload like a picture of him dressed as a lobster in a tub. Like he just seems to be enjoying himself. And I don't think he's ever done anything terrible. He's just pure again in a way that generally you don't get to. I would love, in the same way that you'd like Jane Fonda, I would love to lump Ian McKellen in here. They're such close friends, and Ian McKellen's an honorable mention. But Patrick Stewart was just so important to me growing up. I loved Captain Picard. Let alone all the Shakespeare and everything. Yeah, Patrick Stewart.
No, Patrick Stewart is that is the vein. And I'm
Watch
like
his episode of Extras.
Oh my God, him in Extras is so good. And it scares me that you even said his name, because now I'm like, shit, that's like in the exact same vein as the other people who've passed away. Like the 80s sort of like soft spot in your heart people. But yeah, Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart cannot go anywhere. Protect them. Protect them.
Sad.
Gandalf.
Number two.
I obviously, I think everyone agrees, but Dolly Parton needs to not go anywhere for a long time.
God.
She just invested a lot of money into the vaccine. Yeah, it was the worst one. Maybe it was J&J, but she still put some money behind it, and she's wonderful and great, and I hope she's healthy, and she needs to stay for a while. We need her.
Yeah. And again, she's one of those people that just like, you'd have to be a monster to hate her. Like, how could you hate her? Like, that's what really makes this list for me.
Dolly's an interesting character because I think she kind of hid her maybe more like, I guess, liberal, but they're not really liberal views. They're just like, hey, I believe everyone should have a roof over their heads, and kids should read. Anyway, her compassion.
All her stuff with books. Yeah, you're totally right.
But like, I think that a lot of her fans are people, are probably Republican voters, and she knows that, and she sort of walked that line.
Yeah. She has to be careful. Although she doesn't need, she doesn't need to do anything for anybody right now. She doesn't want to. She's doing fine. But yeah. My number two is someone who I have a weird amount of affection for. I've just always liked him, and I still rewatch. Like on New Year's Eve, I watched one of his movies. I do pretty much every New Year's Eve. I'm gonna be really sad when Billy Crystal passes.
Oh, good one.
I really like Billy Crystal. I just love him in When Harry Met Sally, and I watched like City Slickers movies growing up, and I like apparently am the only person who ever talks about Throw Mama from the Train, but I love that with Danny DeVito, and he's just like his hosting and all that. And Princess Bride, like I don't need to go through his little IMDb, but he's great. He just seems happy, and he's also got a little bit of that sort of a little bit more classic Hollywood thing. He doesn't go back that far, but he's in that vein, I think. And so
he's
Billy
super
Crystal.
In that vein. Yeah. Warm 80s, comfortable. Comfortable, funny. I think he might have started out as like either an improv actor or a stand-up. I think he did start off as a stand-up. Okay, number one.
That's it.
That was really good.
Thank you. I tried.
Number one for me, already been mentioned, Maggie Smith.
No. Wow. I would have never guessed that.
Why? I'm a big fan of Downton Abbey, by the way. Downton was the first show that I watched during the lockdown, and I was like, oh, this is really good. My mom was onto something for the first time in her life. And so Maggie Smith's been old for 30 years.
Since the 80s.
She's been old for so long. And I don't know, like, has she been playing older? Maybe so. She kind of has like a face that's sort of very, posh and judgy. She was in Hook. Remember how good she was in Hook?
Oh, she was in Hook.
Perfect in Hook.
Really fast. How old do you think she is?
I think she is 83.
She's 87.
Damn.
Yeah, she sort of like looked a little bit older, but yeah, back in like Sister Act, she looked older, and she's just kind of been that age for 35 years.
And still so good. Like, how do you steal every scene? Every scene you're in, it's yours, especially in Downton Abbey. Like, just like it's very difficult to be so good. And like, I think Meryl Streep has it, but Maggie Smith has it even more than Meryl Streep has it.
Wow.
I mean, Meryl Streep just played in Don't Look Up. How old was her character supposed to be? Like, 50 maybe?
That's true, yeah.
Streep's in her how old is Streep? Her 70s?
Let's see. Yeah. Meryl Streep is 72.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. By the way, 7 BAFTAs, 3 Golden Globes, 5 Screen Actors Guild Awards. Yeah, she's doing okay. Maggie Smith, she's doing okay.
Oh yeah, she's been well celebrated.
Yeah,
celebrated.
I love her in Harry Potter. And she even has I mostly think of her as being in the early movies, but she has some funny moments like when she has to dance with Ron. And then she has this great heroic moment near the end. I just love it so much. I gotta watch that again. Good choice, very good choice. And I love that we had one overlap, and I love that you gasped when I said it.
Yeah. What's your number one?
My number one is different, and I'm actually very surprised that this isn't on your list, but I'm gonna guess that I don't think that he's quite at the age that we have to be really worried. Okay. This is a little bit preemptive. He's a little bit younger, he's still old, but a little bit younger. I am gonna be really sad when Tom Hanks dies. Because he's got that Bob Ross kind of thing where it's just like, who could hate him? I mean, I understand some of the QAnon people do. They think that he eats babies or whatever. But other than that, yeah, I think I have that exact same thing. How could you hate Tom Hanks? He's been in 1 million good movies. Like I grew up on, on Big and stuff like that. He just has always seemed so nice. You probably don't know this, but he appeared in this documentary that I watched called California Typewriter. He's obsessed with typewriters, and he literally gives typewriters to people if they're interested in starting using typewriters because out of his collection. He'll send them to him. Like how nice is that? You don't need to do that.
Did you try to get one?
No. I just went and bought one. I wanted that to be left for people who it would be very difficult. And he just seems really nice, and he's been in so many good movies, and let alone all the old rom-coms and Turner and Hooch and The Volcano, and how many movies he's still in good movies. I just watched him in that Apple TV robot movie, and he was really good in that.
Oh yeah, you know what movie he wasn't good in? Splash is very sexist and misogynist, and he was in that. It's terrible.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
Once he discovers she's a mermaid, he's like, "Ew, you're gross. I don't want to marry you anymore." And it's like,
is that speciesist?
Very speciesist. Stand by your girl, and he leaves her to just be like flipping on the sidewalk with a bunch of cameras in her face.
Yeah,
it's very, very mean.
That's true. Yeah, I kind of hate him now, actually.
Yeah. Well, in that movie, it's just how he's written.
That's true. Oh, League of Their Own. I love A League of Their Own so much. So anyway, he's just been in a million good movies. I mean, I haven't even mentioned Forrest Gump and Toy Story movies and Apollo 13. Cast Away. He's been in so many good movies.
No, Tom Hanks is God. Like he's not going anywhere. Everything. I don't know why you're. You know who we both forgot.
Who's that?
Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks
that's true. I do
is
like
95.
Oh my God,
and
that's true.
He will die soon.
That's
Guys,
true. You're right, and I did Spaceballs. I love
Spaceballs. Totally Robin Hood Men in Tights. Literally everything else. Blazing Saddles. Was that Mel Brooks?
It was, yeah.
Just Brooks, and he's gonna die soon.
Well, wait, really fast before we do more honorable mentions, and you're totally right. But
okay, more about Tom Hanks.
I have more recent affection for Tom Hanks. And yeah, I just
he's not gonna die.
What was it about Tom Hanks? I don't remember. Anyway, he's great. I do like him. I'll try to remember at some point. But yeah, nobody is a little bit on the older side. He's 65. That's not young, right?
Remember when he got COVID and everyone was like, "Oh yeah."
I know, that's what made me think of it, honestly. I just really like him, and he's in stuff recently, and he's really good. Okay, so I have a couple more. I want to throw out a few honorable mentions. So Judi Dench, I just didn't have, like Maggie Smith took her spot, but I really like her as Em, and I have for like 30 years now. And Kathy Bates, I really like Kathy Bates. I haven't watched much of her stuff, but she's just how well she's continued to do. Like she's been acting for forever, and she's still great. More honorable mentions from you?
I think that was it. Like I think Mel Brooks was the one I remembered. I had forgotten.
Okay. I want to throw out just a few more. One, I should have mentioned George R.R. Martin because I swear to God, if we don't get the end of the series, And by the way, The Wheel of Time is a series. Like he died like 3 books before the end, and someone else finished. But anyway,
I thought you liked the ending.
I do, but I want to know what is in the books.
It's the same thing. It's the same crap ass ending as it is.
Supposedly it won't be actually, but we won't know for a very long time because this book that has taken him like 8 years to write isn't even gonna be the last one. So anyway, the 2 others I want to throw out, and it's one where you have to take them as a pair, is Steve Martin and Martin Short. And so did you watch Only Murders in the Building?
I think so. I don't know. I've watched a lot of their stuff. First of all, Steve Martin. Oh no, I didn't.
With Selena Gomez, it's just good. They're just delightful older guys, and I liked Bowfinger and all that. What, do you have a problem with Steve Martin?
No, I just wouldn't put him in the same league as Martin. Like I put Steve Martin far above Martin Short. No disrespect.
Really?
Martin Short's good. Yeah, Steve Martin is in a complete league of his own. He's wonderful. He's very, very good. I would not be as sad to lose Martin Short. It would suck. But Steve Martin is like, yeah, that's also God.
Okay, good. Okay, yeah, no, we agree. I like Bowfinger and stuff. By the way, there's like a class
so funny.
I love it, and nobody talks about it. It has not been mentioned in public in 12 years. But anyway,
until today.
Until right now, there's a class of movies. So I mentioned Throw Mama from the Train. For Tom Hanks, it's The Burbs. There are these weird, dark 80s movies that don't get enough credit. And those are 2 of them. I don't know what the genre for that would be, but I just wish that they had more recognition. But anyway, you've never seen The Burbs? It's about him getting really suspicious, Tom Hanks getting really suspicious about his neighbors. He thinks that they're killing people and burying them in the backyard. It's great. We're gonna do a movie night and watch The Burbs together. Anyway.
I've been waiting for movie night.
I know. Oh, I have a secret for movie night. You'll see at the next movie night. I have a secret weapon now. Anyway, with all that said, those are our top 10 people that we really hope don't get taken soon. And some of them probably will, so we're gonna feel really bad for that. But let us know if we missed anybody in the comments down below. And if you have an idea for a list, let us know. As of right now, it is looking like the next top 10 list will be our top 10 favorite things about Succession. So we just want to talk about Succession. And then probably Cobra Kai after that. And so I hope that you enjoy. And we'll see you next time. Thank you, Francesca, by the way, for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you soon.